Hi everybody, Natasha from the Graceful Financial Coach here today to talk about cash flow. So cash flow is made up of our inflow and our outflow dollars. So our inflow dollars, for the majority of us, come from our paychecks, but anything that is an asset that pays you is an inflow. And the way that the money goes out as expenses is your outflow. So your bills, your mortgage, your car payments, your insurances, daycare, vacations, clothing, food, entertainment, all of that is your outflow. So when you have a positive inflow or positive cash flow, you have more money coming in than you have going out. Those of us that have more going out than coming in are now in debt because you are paying for it usually on a line of credit because you don't have enough money to cover those expenses. So to get back on track, if you do have debt, and even if you don't, if you have a positive cash flow, but you want to increase that, you're going to want to use a zero-based budgeting approach. A zero-based budgeting approach is simple in concept. You take all of your inflows, let's use monthly as an example for a budget, and you assign every single dollar in that inflow a location. A location being either paying back credit card debt, a savings account, or the bills expenses that we talked about before. But what you want to do is you want to take every dollar you have and essentially get it to zero by the end of the month. This is different than living from paycheck to paycheck, but ultimately it does feel kind of the same for quite some time. The difference is when you're living from paycheck to paycheck, that really means that if you were to lose your job, you aren't going to be able to keep up with any of those expenses or some of those expenses. You'd fall on hardship and sometimes. When you're utilizing a zero-based budget, you're directing that money where to go. So when you're depleting what's coming in, you still are directing some of that money into an emergency account, emergency savings account, and debt management. You're paying back your debt. So that's shrinking what you owe. Your emergency fund is also a buffer. So that way, if something happens, you're taken care of. So you're actually building positive net worth as you're following a zero-based budget, where paycheck to paycheck, you're probably not. And those are the two big differences there. So by following a zero-based budget, you're really focused on building an emergency fund, and also you're focused on debt repayment while you're paying off those other bills as well. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Bye-bye.